how hard is it to stay enthusiastic when there's no defined, specific, measurable, attainable target?
Gratitude, being grateful, even in the waiting, even in the patience, even in seeing the negative hate. I go out there and I fight harder than anybody else anywhere across the world. And you can tell a difference when I step inside of the Octagon.
I love this guy, and I'm telling you, this guy's going to have a massive career beyond fighting. Let's just go back a second. How did you get in the game? Why? Why did you want to fight? I watch this. I watch you guys. You end up with messed up ears. People have a hard time. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, why does anybody choose this path?
The funny thing is, there's sometimes I watch fights and I think, why? Like, why do I do this? And my wife as well. She's like, why do we do this to ourselves? But no, truly, I was a small guy from a small town right outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go, St. Louis. And I was undersized, right? So I wasn't going to be the starting point guard. I wasn't going to be the star quarterback. So I wrestled 103 pounds as a freshman. And it turned out hand-to-hand combat was my calling. Picking a guy up, putting him down, breaking his will. But then I also wrestled in college with two guys who went on to be champions outside of, or in fighting. Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren. They were like my big brothers, my mentors, the guys that I looked up to, the guys I wanted to be like. And I got my degree in personal finance with a minor in real estate, but I wasn't quite ready to, go into the market, so to speak. I still wanted to
real
work with these
estate's
hands.
easier than the Octagon, right?
It is, but we're laying a good foundation for the post-fight career. So, and then now I figured I'd try it 3 months after I graduated in 2009, and I've been trying it now for 15 years, and it's been a ride, to say the least.
So what is it? What is it you saw that you're like, I want to go do that?
Man, I just honestly, I just took a chance. I really just saw it, and I thought, obviously, I got the job market, I got the degree, I loved hand-to-hand combat. I knew I wasn't going to be able to climb what we call the Olympic ladder to become the #1 guy in the country to go then wrestle for the United States. Mixed martial arts, I knew that what I did throughout the last 9-10 years of my life leading up to my transition into mixed martial arts, there was not a man on the planet who was going to outwork me. There's not a man on the planet who was tougher than me. I could be standing across the cage, which I did just 18 months into my career, standing across the cage from a guy named Eddie Alvarez, who was the #3 guy in the world at the time, and something in me said, I don't care what your world ranking is, I don't care who you've beaten, I'm going to beat you, and I did just that. I became a world champion within 18 months, and then that was years ago, decades ago, and here we are.
Does it feel like it was a long time ago?
Man, it kind of does. I will be 38 in a couple weeks. Don't tell anybody. Everybody thinks I'm a lot younger than this, but I still feel like I'm 25 years old, and I think I've just, I've kept my nose to the grindstone. I've done what others won't do. I've flexed the discipline muscle every single day, and it's prolonged my career. And sometimes I pinch myself because it's a ruthless game. This game, you guys saw Iron Mike Tyson earlier. Boxing, mixed martial arts, these sports will chew you up and they will spit you out and they will beat you down to your knees and keep you there for as long as you will let it. And it's happened to me a couple times, the ups and downs, but 15 years we're still.
You understand a business career will last longer than a career in the Octagon.
I do, yeah. But it's all about platform, right? So, a wise man once said, if they don't know you, they won't flow you, right? So,
but I didn't say get hit in the face.
I know, but we're building the platform. We're making good on the promises we made to myself, my family, and I still have this well-enabled body that is such a blessing to be able to do what I do. And with that, I have a voice, I have a platform. And
so how does have you guys ever been interested in how a fight gets negotiated? Like who gets what? How do they figure it out? Can you give us some of the insides of it? Because Dana won't tell me shit.
Dana won't tell you nothing. I have made my career in life on becoming an indispensable asset to the organization that I fight for. Just like you, just like anybody in the room, any business owners, everyone was created equal, but not everybody deserves every single opportunity based upon their work ethic, the type of person that they are, how they operate, their integrity, their character, what they bring to the table. We all have a stock. Every single one of you guys has a stock ticker on top of your head, and what you contribute is what you're going to get out of it, right? And I've been a guy who has who has kept my nose clean. I've been a guy who has been in the positive headlines. I've been a guy who doesn't trash my organization. I've been a guy who hopefully young kids look up to, that moms want their kids to be like, that other men want to see and say, hey, I want to be more like that, right? And I negotiate my own contract. My last contract I negotiated myself, which is not a non-scary thing when you're talking about Dana White, Hunter Campbell, and these guys. But you know your worth, and there's always been you know how he is, right?
So you sat down with Dana and Hunter,
yeah,
and just worked the deal out.
Yeah, but it was also they're very quick and to the point too. It's I'm not going to ask for way more than I'm worth, and they're not going to undershoot me by a crazy amount. And we kind of figure it out as men, as businessmen. I look at myself like a business, and they look at me. They have a business to run. Yeah.
And have you seen other guys over negotiate their position?
1,000%. And I think it's probably the biggest problem that we have in society today is overvaluing yourself before you've actually gotten there, right? I'd much rather be the guy who the person I'm negotiating with was like, hey, you know what? We left a little bit more meat on the bone here, right? More than, oh, shoot, we paid him too much. Now the expectations are exponentially higher. Therefore, the chances of me not superseding said expectations are much higher, and it's going to be a tough tug of war relationship, right?
I don't know how many UFC fans here.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
How many of you have never seen a UFC fight?
That's okay.
Let me hear.
Okay.
Say 10x if you've never seen a UFC fight. All right, well, just trust me on this, all right? This dude, when he goes into a ring, I mean, you know, in the first couple of rounds, like, okay, Mike's not gonna win this one, or he's gonna win it. But what you know for absolute sure, it is gonna be a bloody, unbelievable. Like, he's gonna make highlight reels no matter what.
Yeah.
Like when you go in there, are you thinking? I think sometimes my wife and I were watching a fight, and I'm like, shit, he don't care if he wins. He just wants reels now. Is that possible?
You know what? I think, as an MMA analyst, right? You look at two guys, they're about the same weight. You got two arms, and they got 2 arms and 2 legs. There's X's and O's. There's punches, kicks, knees, elbows. There's techniques, and there's things going on. But there's also a spiritual battle going on as well, right? There's a battle of the wills going on as well. And yes, I am a guy who I am not afraid to take a punch in order to land a few punches. I'm not afraid to engage in hand-to-hand combat in a fashion that is playing more towards breaking that man's will to fight, breaking that man's heart to win, than just maybe landing more punches or getting more punches landed on me. It's not always the best technique. It's not always the best game plan. But at some point, you can't fight who you are.
What are you going to do after this, bro, when you're done? I mean, it's got to be, what, a couple more years, 3 years?
Yeah, use the platform to make an impact and monetize it. I've set myself up when it comes to investments. I've invested in a couple different companies. I've started a couple different companies. Fitness will always be one of my branches, right? I think to be 38 years old, Tom Brady has been on this stage, right? For Tom... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Tom Brady, right? To do what he has done for as long as he did at the age he was at, when you're not supposed to be competing at a high level at his age, right? I am trying to be in that realm, right? So people look at me and think, man, you were 38 years old? Usually by the time you're 38, I would have limped onto this stage, probably had a couple different painkillers in me because of the way the game had chewed me up and spit me out. But because of the way that I take care of my body, nonstop working out, nutrition, supplementation, sleep, and all the different advancements, obviously with 10X Health, that you guys are well-versed in. So I started my own fitness app called Walk On Fitness. We have a bunch of different programs that I've created. My trainer who trains a bunch of NFL guys, my wife's trainer daily, and we're going to build that and make an impact through fitness, as well as taking the cash flow from investments and trying to bless people, as many people as possible. I invested in a tequila company called Hiatus Tequila. Cram Nutrition is a healthy peanut butter and jelly company. So these products, services, these different investments that I have that I have a passion for, and then trying to help build those companies with the people.
Well, I want to help you, and I'm excited about watching what you do. What does the term 10X mean to you?
Man, it is. The funny thing is I've always known that I was created for something ridiculously special, even though that small voice inside me said, yeah, but it's too scary. Yeah, but you might fail. Yeah, but they might laugh at you. And here I am on the cusp of my 10X moment, right? And doing things right, operating with integrity, not being afraid to do things that are against the grain. And eventually, like I said, that hard work pays off. And when it does pay off, it pays off in droves. And when it does pay off, it is more crazy, more exponentially beautiful than you ever thought it could possibly be. So to me, 10X is a mentality that starts with 0.01X every single day, doing the small things. If you can be brilliant with the basics, God's word says, he who can be trusted with the small things, then and only then can you be trusted with the big things, the exponential things, the 10X things. So we get to these 10X moments and we have the 10X mindset and we surround ourselves with the 10X type of people and we put the 10X work ethic in, but it's the 0.01X every single day, doing things that are brilliantly basic, that nobody ever sees, that is behind closed doors, that is in the comfort of your own home, or it's the small different disciplines that you do every single day that leads to the greatest moment of opportunity, and you're able to grab that 10X by the horns and just live life to the fullest.
Mike Chandler, come on.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much.